Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today for a Bible journaling process video. We are here in Matthew and we are using the October Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat Kits. I love this kit. This particular devotional is called Dwell in Unity and it focuses on Matthew 18 and the colors here. This background pattern is just gorgeous and these colors, yellows and orange and purple and green, but they're all very soft fall, autumnal, sherbety kind of colors. They're just so pretty. And then here's some stamps. Gather, in his name, and then this gather stamp, this wording was actually done by Ashley Lewis, who is on our design team. And then you saw those beautiful bows. So here we are in Matthew chapter 18. And I'm focusing primarily on verses 14 and 15. And I'm going to start off by getting some background on my page. Now, my camera, my table, all of this is just shaking because what I'm doing here, it really requires some elbow grease, and so it all shakes. So I'm sorry. I hope I don't get you sick there from motion sickness or anything from watching that. But what I'm doing is I'm using some Distress Oxides, and this color is Ripe Persimmon, and now I'm adding Wilted Violet. And I'm using the blending tool that is Tim Holtz, and you can get those along. I do have all of the products linked in the comment section below, so that in the description box below, so that you can see what I use. Again, these are Wilted Violet and Ripe Persimmon. And I'm just getting a lot of ink in on my blending tool, picking that up in a round motion, and then I rub it onto my page again in a round motion. You can see how I'm just kind of digging it into my ink pad and rubbing it in. I'm only blending the colors in on the edges, and I'm getting some darker parts, some lighter parts. Now I'm going to spritz it with water, and the Distress Oxides, they oxidize with water, and so it leaves this kind of speckly, spotted look, which is just super cool. Now I'm taking some cellophane, just some packaging, and I am turning the ink pad over and getting some of that ink onto it, and then I'm wetting that with a paintbrush, and then I pick that up and splatter it. Now, you can make a very simple page without all of this background stuff that I'm doing here. So it's entirely up to you. You could keep it all in the margin if you want to. The good thing about the Distress Oxides is that you could still see through the ink, so you could still read all of the text. Now I'm coming in with some watercolor in this teal color, and these are colors that are all in the kit. It matches the colors in the kit. So I'm just adding this watercolor over top and then some splatter. And the good thing about these Distress Oxides is how they layer. And so this top layer of the watercolor it just looks kind of like it sits on top. And then I splatter paint that, and then I dry it with my heat tool. Really cool look, really cool effect for that. So now I'm going to add my stamping and my stickers, and we're going to pull out the Faith Art Box, the products that are in this month's Faith Art Box. And it comes with these really pretty vine type border stamps. So I'm going to stamp that on the top and bottom of my page, just there in the margin to kind of set it off. And I'm just going to use the one stamp, but I'm going to switch the directions from the top and then the bottom. I'm using Ranger Ink Jet Black. That's the color. It's the archival ink. So it is waterproof, which is good for this. I'm going to be using some watercolor and just use some water in my coloring. So what I'm doing here, taking the same inks that I used before, and I'm going to put them back on that cellophane and use it as my paint now. I'm going to use the ink as a paint, and I'm going to color in my little leaves on my vine. And I'm using my aqua brush, so I'm just thinking of coloring one each of my leaves, but here you'll see, oops, I colored 2 of the leaves in the orange. But with these Distress Oxides, you can layer the color, so it covers it up by going over it with the purple. Now I'm coming in with some cracked pistachio, but it just doesn't show real well on that teal color watercolor. So I'm going to come back in now with a cobalt green Pitt Big Brush marker. And first I'm just using it as an ink, kind of like a watercolor, and then I decide just to go straight at it as a marker, and that works better. So that was one of the Pitt Big Brush markers in cobalt green. Now what did you see me do there? I pulled out a piece of foam, and I'm going to put that underneath my page when I do my stamping, and it helps to get a cleaner impression. So now I pulled the stamp that says Together, and I'm going to stamp that on the teal green label. So this particular stamp that says Together, it's an outline. So I'm going to come in and color it in, again with that, well actually I was going to say the cobalt green marker, but I'm actually using a crimson. The color says crimson, although it doesn't look crimson. It's this purpley color. And I color that so it matches the purple from the kit and the purple in my background. And that white label just really then sticks out. It pops out from the page. And then now use my alpha tiles, and I'm going to spell out the rest of my title. I'm spelling out Dwell Together in Unity. So that's my emphasis here. And the passage is from Matthew 18, verses 15 through 20, the whole passage. But specifically, I'm dealing with 15 and 16 and 17. And it's just a powerful section of the Bible. It's Jesus telling us how to deal with conflict. We call that in ministry, we call it the Matthew 18 principle. And you can read more about it over on my blog post that I have attached. And it's the way that we can deal with conflict in relationships, in Christian unity, the way that we can dwell together in His love, showing Christian love in relationships, in our marriages, in our work relationships, especially in the church, because that's where, you know, we are human and we do hurt each other, we do wrong each other, we do sometimes talk to each other in ways that can hurt each other because we're humans and we're sinners. But instead of stewing over it and holding grudges and getting back at each other, Jesus tells us in this passage how to handle conflict. We go to each other lovingly and prayerfully, and we speak to them and we share with them how they hurt us. And then, and only then, do we go and get someone else to come and get them involved. Too often we go and we talk about people and about what they've done before we've told them exactly how they have hurt us. And that's how we hurt other people. That's how we backstab people. That's why so many people have left the church, because of the way we just treat each other. And it's so unfortunate. We should treat each other with love. And if we followed this Matthew 18 principle by dwelling together in unity and in His love, then it wouldn't be that way. So anyway, I just focused on that and focused on this passage and how powerful it is. Let me just come back to the screen here and what I've done. I added some little elements. I added the stickers, the hearts, and then I stamped one of the vines and then cut that out and added those elements. I colored those and then added those. I added the bow up at the top. And then you're going to see me do my journaling here, well, do my date stamp. I'm going to journal off screen. And now I'm going to come in and I write the passage reference on the little vine, and I do it in that same curved motion, and it just makes it kind of pretty. So you can see I've done my journaling off screen. And now for that vine that I cut out, I gave it the stem, and that made it a little more uniform with the rest of the page. And I'm going to add some texture stamping. This is from the June set, the June Faith Art box, the stamp set that came with that. And I just pick it up. I don't even put it on a block. And that allows me some control and just to give a little bit of texture so it's not completely covered and just a really big impression. I just want a little bit of a hint of texture there. I'm going to come in, I stamped it in black, and now I'm going to come in with that right persimmon color. And again, because it's a Distress Oxide, it layers the color on color. So there you have it. There's the page. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Again, I've linked my blog post, and I've linked all the products I've used. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And again, if you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section and come back and join me next time. Thanks so much. God bless. Bye-bye.